Okay, this is part 2 for Module 2, Lesson 4. I'm still on page 79. Just a real quick reflection. Why is the first step in solving the inequality to use the distributive property instead of working inside the parentheses? Well, if you look at this problem and some of the other ones that we've done, I can't really deal with the stuff inside the parentheses by itself yet because I can't combine a variable with a number. So I've got to do the distributive property and solve for the variable. I can't add a variable and a number inside the parentheses. So anyway, let's go to your turn. Zachary's planning to send a video game to each of his two brothers. If he buys the same game for both brothers and pays $4.75 to ship each game, how much can he spend on each game without spending more than $100? Write and solve an inequality for this situation. All right, so first I'm going to use V for the cost of the video game. And he's got two brothers, so I'm thinking, all right, he's got two brothers. He's got to buy the video game for each brother and pay $4.75 to ship each of those games to his brothers. And he doesn't want to spend any more than $100. So this amount has got to stay less than or equal to $100. Okay, so I've just kind of thought it through and built my equation. And then, like I said, because I can't deal with a variable plus a number, I have to do the distributive property and solve for the variable rather than trying to add these together. All right, so 2 times V and 2 times 4.75. That's the distributive property. So 2V plus 2 times 475 is going to be $9.50. And all of that has got to be less than 100. And then I can just move the 950 by doing the opposite operation. Just make sure you do it to both sides. Okay, remember my decimal's really here. So 100 minus $9.50 is going to be $90.50. And that is where we, oops, sorry. All right. Sorry, I'm starting to run out of room. But anyway, so 2V has got to be less than or equal to $90.50. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And the cost, oops, don't put an equal sign. The cost has got to be 90.5 divided by 2, which is $45.25. So Zach cannot spend any more than $45.25 on each game. Otherwise, he won't be able to buy them both and ship them both for less than $100. Okay. All right. We're going to practice solving these two inequalities. Some kids in class really had some difficulty with these, I guess just because they have fractions. So we're going to do those on a separate sheet of paper. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to do number 5 first. I've written it down on this sheet of paper. So we have 4/3 multiplied by 6x plus 9, and all of that is less than 4. 4/3 times all of this, I can also do this. This is exactly the same. I can do this. Okay? Because here's your 4/3, 4 over 3. In order for me to deal with this, one of the things that you can choose to do is, well, this side is divided by 3, so multiply this whole side, multiply all of that by 3. But if I multiply that side by 3, I have to multiply the other side by 3. Okay? Well, that's kind of easy because there's only one thing on the other side. All right. So multiplying over here by 3 gets rid of that 3 in the denominator. So now I just have 4, 6x plus 9. Oops, close my parentheses. And then I multiplied everything over here by 3 also, so that's 12. And then I can just deal with this equation the way I normally would. I'm going to divide this side by 4, divide this side by 4, and I get 6x plus 9 is less than 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then I can say minus 9, 6x is less than negative 6. Divide by 6. Divide by 6. And that gives me x is less than negative 1. How do I make sure that that is correct? Well, let's go up here and put in negative 1, or something, we can put in something less than negative 1, because it really needs to be less than. 4 over 3, 6, negative 1, plus 9 is less than 4. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6, plus 9, 4/3. I'm going to do my multiply by 3. I get 4. This together is 3. And this is 4 times 3. All right, so I get 12 less than 12. Well, that's not the case, because remember, it's only a less than. So if I put in negative 1, the two sides equal, I've got to put in something less than negative 1. But I've solved it correctly. X has to be less than negative 1. So for instance, if I put in a negative 2 up here, Six times negative 2 is negative 12 plus 9. So inside the parentheses, that's a negative 3. Times 3 times 3. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. And that's definitely less than positive 12. Okay, so x cannot be equal to 1. X has to be less than 1. Okay, and then number 6, I'm just going to walk that one through also, just because people, I don't know, for some reason they get scared when they see fractions that they've got to deal with. Oh, that's a negative 2. Plus 2 is greater than or equal to 5. Okay. Well, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this entire side by negative 2, and I'm going to divide this entire side by negative 2. Now remember, at the beginning of the lesson, somewhere, the inequality sign must be reversed when multiplying or dividing both sides by a negative number. So remember to do that. All right, that gets rid of it over here. So now over there, I only have 1/4 x plus 2. I've got to reverse the sign because I've divided by a negative 2. 5 divided by negative 2, I'm just going to leave it as a negative 5/2. Okay, or 2.5. I mean, all right. I have a 1/4 here. What I'm going to do, because I don't like dealing with fractions, I'm going to take everything. As long as I do it to everything, I'm okay. I'm going to take everything and multiply it by 4. So everything on this side multiplied by 4. Everything on this side multiplied by 4. 4 times a fourth is just 1. So now I have 1x. So I'm just going to say x. And then 4 times 2, that's 8. Haven't done anything weird with a negative, so the sign doesn't change. All right, and then 4 times 5 is 20. And 20 divided by 2 is 10, and there's a negative. So this is negative 10 now on that side. And I've gotten rid of my fractions. Okay. And then minus 8, minus 8. X is less than or equal to negative 18. Now, I subtracted 8 to both sides, but that's not multiplying or dividing by a negative, so there's no switching around this sign. It's only when you're multiplying or dividing with a negative that you've got to flip the sign. So there you go. Just remember, you can get rid of fractions if you want to multiply both sides by some sort of multiple that gets rid of that fraction. It's just you've got to make sure to do it to everything. You can't do it to just this fraction. It's got to be done to the whole equation. Okay?